Bienvenidas a Get It Real with Jackie and Aubrey. Yo soy Jackie.
And I'm Aubrey, and we're going to be talking about dating with my mom.
Oh my God. Yo no sé si estoy preparada para esto, pero vamos a hacerlo. Estas son prácticas que, you have to have with your kid here and there. Así que, ¿estás lista, Aubrey? Are you nervous? You're talking to your mother. Okay, who should pay on the dates?
I would say it depends on who asked the person out. So say if the guy asks you out, then they pay. And if the girl asks the guy out, then they pay. The girl pays.
I think that makes sense. Would you ask a guy out yourself?
Most likely not. I'm not the outgoing type. But maybe, depends. Depends if I have enough confidence to
ask him out?
You
haven't asked any boy out yet?
No, I haven't.
No. Bueno, pues, when I was younger, hace como 2 años, when I was younger, pues normalmente I'm used to the guys asking the girls out, y the guys would always pay. But, that was years ago. Now things have changed a little bit,
They have, yeah.
Now they can split the bill and all that stuff. How do you feel about if you go on a date and they tell you to split the bill?
Well, I mean, I think that's more when you're comfortable in the relationship. So at the beginning, I think it's more you're getting to know each other. So you're not gonna, I wouldn't ask someone oh, split the bill with me when I was the one who asked them out.
But what if he asks you out and then when the bill arrives, he's like, it's half and half? How would you feel?
I mean, I'd obviously pay my part, but in my head, I'd be that's kind of weird because, I mean, you asked me out, so.
You pay.
Yeah, you pay.
You pay. Okay, Aubrey, let's continue this conversation. When should you introduce your boyfriend to your parents?
I'd say it depends on how comfortable you are with your boyfriend, because I personally wouldn't want to be introducing a guy who's not worthy of meeting my parents. So they have to be a good guy, they have to be respectful.
I
don't want to just introduce a boyfriend that I would have.
But you would have to tell your mother.
Oh, I tell you, but not, obviously I tell you, but I don't know about introducing
that would
hey,
if you
let's go to dinner.
So this means if you like a boy, you might not right away tell me, but if you have a boyfriend, girl, I gotta know.
No, I would tell you, but personally introducing, bringing him to the house for a dinner or something.
I see, different. More formal. Mm-hmm. A more formal situation.
But I'd wait a little bit to do that.
So it has to be a boy that you really like, and then, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Y todo eso para que lo traigas a la casa. Así más formal.
Mm-hmm.
Pero as soon as you're he asked me out, mom, he wants me to be girlfriend, you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, I will tell you.
Okay, because I'm sweating here. Okay, let's continue. What's up with the fear of commitment on the new generation? That is all of you guys.
Well,
how do you feel?
Know.
Okay, first of all, you're 14, so let's just keep that in mind. You're 14, you're kind of far away from a very serious relationship. But in the future, when you get older, how do you feel about the word commitment?
Well, I'm not sure. I really haven't had much personal experience, but I'd say commitment is just, you have to be comfortable with the person. I feel if I knew the person and I knew that they respected me and that we would have, we'd be happy with each other, then I wouldn't mind being, how do you say, committed to each other? Yeah.
So you're in your mind, because I know we've had this conversation in the past, you do want to get married, you do want to have children eventually when you get older. So the word commitment to you doesn't really scare you, because there are other persons who are just scared. They're afraid of thinking, I have to be with this person forever or marry them and children and things, and they don't like that. They just like to jump from one relationship to another and kind of just be, I guess, free, if you can call it that way. But in your mind, I know you like the idea of a home and a family. And I think commitment is nice. Yeah. When you commit to someone and you give them, all of you and they give all of them, and it's just, it's beautiful. I mean, relationships can be very nice, but at the same time, they can be a hell. So you just gotta, you gotta choose the right person. Now, online dating these days, what's up with all the swiping?
Swiping, like...
I don't think you're there yet, but the swiping, like, you know, dating apps, people go on dating apps, older people, you know, 18, 21, and they just, you know, see a picture and swipe if they don't like. Do you, I don't think you're there yet, Aubrey.
I've never used a dating app like Tinder, or I think the other one I've heard of is like Bumble or something like that. I've never used those type of dating apps, but there's this one app called Yubo, but it's more for friends. So I've never really like spoken to a guy.
But you don't swipe left and right there.
You do, but but I mostly didn't do that. They have these like lives on there, and you can just like play games with people and stuff like that.
But
so
it's not like is it if you look on the app store, Yubo, how does it describe it, as a dating app?
It's for friends.
For friends.
But a lot of people do use it as dating, but I
you can use anything
haven't.
for dating. Instagram,
yeah, you can.
Facebook, Twitter, anything, you know. Well, in my opinion, you know, I didn't really have much experience with dating apps. I mean, I'm already married and been for a long time, but I think it's hard dating on apps because sometimes you get catfish. You know?
Yeah, people
what if
catfish
you see
a
this
lot.
person, they look so handsome, and then when you see them, they're like not that person, or how they describe themselves. You know, they can be creeps sometimes. Be careful with those things. Be careful with those things. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It says, what are the 3 essential things for a romantic relationship to work? I have many, but I just want to see what's in your brain, Aubrey, since you're barely getting there.
I'd say the most 3 essential things are communication, loyalty, and I'd say like being comfortable, because if you feel awkward with people, like with the person you're with, then it's just going to be like the tension is just always going to be there. And you need to be able to communicate with each other and talk about your problems, because if you don't, then it just creates more problems.
Okay, so now those are more like really essentials in a relationship. But if you talk about like a romanticism, like romantic stuff, like what do you think it's romantic in a relationship? Or things that are romantic and that you would want to have in a relationship in the future? Like romantic things.
I'm not sure. I haven't had a lot of personal experience, as I said before, but...
What do you think about flowers? Do you think it's romantic when
things like that are nice. I feel like, you know, just a little bit of like showing your appreciation sometimes, just to show that you still like think about that person, and you know, just... I'll
tell you some of my romantic, things that I think are romantic in a relationship. Flowers for sure, because I think most of all girls, we love flowers, and just for no reason. Now, back in the day, we used to write letters, just like handwritten letters. They don't do that no more. And dedicating songs. I don't know if people do that nowadays, but they don't do that already.
They don't. This generation's different. Me and my friends have talked about it before. Like,
oh my God. Why have you guys talked about it?
There's no like, they have like no heart. Like they don't, you know, they'll ask you out. Like, hey, do you want to hang out? They won't even ask you to go to dinner or nothing like that. Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, you have to pay attention to this. Listen, you guys have to be more romantic, más caballerosos, you know, open the door for the girl, a flower, you know, dedicate a song. Those things are really nice.
They never do stuff like that anymore.
Oh my God. Well, I'm sure there should be some guys out there that might do this kind of stuff. They cannot be banished from the earth.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Is it okay to date someone who was your friend's ex? I have my answer, but I'm going to wait for yours first.
I would say no, because it's like they're your friend, and most likely when they were going through that breakup, you were there to help them, and you were hearing all the things that they were saying and how hurt they were. So it's just out of respect that you don't date their ex, you know what I mean? Because it could also cause them pain, and it just causes a bunch of problems.
I agree 100% with you, Aubrey. Never date a friend's ex. I just feel like it's a rule that it's not written, but you know it's there, so you just don't ever do that. I mean, I don't know how I would. I don't imagine myself dating someone's.
I wouldn't be able
ex.
to. It's just too uncomfortable.
And then you're gonna lose the friendship.
Yeah.
Probably, and then eventually you're gonna lose the guy as well, and then you're not gonna have a friend or the guy.
Friendships are more important.
So don't ruin a friendship over a guy, right? Oh my God. But Aubrey, it was so much fun having you here today for this, for all these topics. How do you feel?
I feel good. I was a little nervous doing this, but I'm glad that we can talk about this stuff. It's like fun and like open and things like that. And for like the people who are watching, they're like my age. Hope they like get some good advice and they feel like, relatable and things like that.
Yes, I agree, Aubrey. Bueno, chicas, se nos acaba el tiempo, pero síganos en LATV.com, en Get a Girl TV, y si tienen sugerencias, ya saben a dónde mandarlas. Hagan su DM, y eso es todo por hoy. Nos vemos en otro episodio.